Well, welcome everyone to another episode of the Raheen Ashimi Show. Welcome to the Raheen Ashimi Show. This is a preempt. How you say that thing, Captain Leonard? Preempt two. How you say that? How you say that fancy word? People,
I don't know what you're trying to say. Is it preemptory? Is what you're trying to
yeah,
say?
man.
Or
What you're doing something that's not scheduled. You know that.
impromptu?
That's what it is. That's the one right there. Hey, good morning, Frank. Good morning, Frank. How you doing this morning? Well, it's actually
It's
this
not
evening.
morning.
Man, we didn't do the show this morning. I had another obligation, and so I'm so used to being here in the morning time. Lord Jesus, my schedule is all off, brother. Listen, Leonard, tell everybody before we go there. Tell everybody who you are and where you're hailing from, brother.
Man, this is Leonard Jones. I'm calling today from Covington, Georgia.
Good deal, good deal. And the phone, let me open up the phone line. The phone lines are open 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. So Leonard, I gotta ask the question, brother. I gotta say it. So he was acquitted. He was
Yeah.
acquitted. He was acquitted. I got the message, and like I said, I had another obligation this morning, and I was done with that about 1:30, and I got the message on the way home. And I was actually on my way home. We wasn't gonna do this show. We wasn't gonna do this right here. And I had to come in, and because I know, man, y'all got it's something on your heart about this situation right here. What do you think, Leonard? So he was acquitted after all this stuff said and done. He's been acquitted. What's on your heart, brother?
Right. Man, it's just an excellent example of white privilege.
Mm,
From the beginning of the trial, you still have to understand that these people are very sympathetic towards Kyle Rittenhouse.
mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, may not know what was going on there, but it was connected to a lot of things going on across the United States as it relates to police brutality and the killing of a man who had been shot in the back 7 times there in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
This is what started the entire thing.
So basically, and I understand what you're saying, and you're absolutely right in what you're saying, man. But he killed 2 people and he shot 3 people, killed 2 of them. So basically, it's okay. It's okay to kill people.
They're sending a message to those people who are sympathetic towards what he did. And actually, this surge against the right to protest.
Mm.
This is what the bigger picture is about. Is that there are certain people who believe that no longer should we have the right to protest.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And we have all types of issues just based when you look at this perfect picture of America right now. This is America. This is the truth of America right here. The Kyle Rittenhouse acquittal on all charges. That is your America.
Mm. It doesn't look pretty.
You still feel you have no responsibility to try to stop this type of thing from happening.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. This is what happens when you sit back and you allow certain people to be an authority, because they'll fix things for those people whose interests they're sympathetic to.
Mm.
And I wish we had a person that would call on that would just be honest about it.
Yeah.
That didn't happen to be black.
Mm-hmm.
This is horrible. It sends out a terrible message based on, first of all, what we know. They came after us. Remember, they wanted to make it such a thing about black extremism.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But they underestimated that people were very fed up with this mentality.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have so many, it's a very diverse crowd now of activists.
Yes, it is.
Because
Yes.
the people as a whole are saying, wait a minute, something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't just pin it on black people. So now we have, remember, they want to paint us as these terrible rioters destroying and burning down cities.
Yes.
That's the picture they wanted to paint. And then you got the public realizing the victims weren't black. This affects all of us. This notion that some people have that because I'm a white man, I have a right to be judge, jury, and executioner over anybody in the United States that I don't approve of what they're doing. You know how many social clubs have been created behind this particular incident?
Probably many.
To quote, legalized militias that believe that they should be able to take authority into their own hands.
But let me ask you this question, brother. In your estimation and in your expertise, because I know you've been fighting these situations for a long time, who is this? What just happened? Who is that a victory for?
This is a victory for those individuals who believe in white supremacism. They are not going to sacrifice a white boy that they can save. See, and what this does is these people with this mindset are forming to protect their way of life. If the judge had been black in this particular case, the defense probably would have asked for a change of venue or something just to get it out of that court.
Just get it away from his power. Yeah, absolutely.
Because you must have this case in front of someone who is sympathetic to your interests. So this whole notion, and people have to realize, your son doing anything is doing years and years and years for far less than what this young man did.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But they can't find mercy for your son, but they found it for him.
5-0.
Because it is not their way to sacrifice these out of control, homebred terrorists.
508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. So he was acquitted. What do you think about that? Who was it really a victory for? I had somebody say, and Leonard, you heard the person when he said this a couple of days ago. Well, I don't know if you heard. I think they actually put this on another post, but they were saying that there's a white guy that shot 3 white people and killed 2 of them, and their point was, now you can have black folks, if we get acquitted, if we get let loose, you can have black people all over a place trying to protest for a white guy that killed white people. Leonard, what are you hearing that, man?
I hear a lot of, how would you say,
foolery,
miseducation. It is exactly what it is. It's what happened. So if you just look at what happened and how it relates to the buildup, and that place has been building up and building up. Some places have a lot more going on than other areas. But the narrative that was painted in the media was of, remember, it was trying to really, Black Lives Matter was the problem.
It was.
That's what the narrative always was. And they constantly reinforce that narrative about out of control, looting, robbing, and everything, and blah, blah, blah. So that constantly stoked these individuals. If you notice, even the various protests, weapons started showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody knows, and usually anyone woke organization protesting don't even carry weapons.
Mm-hmm.
But white folks started showing up with automatic weapons at peaceful protests. That's why you have to understand why it's so important to them to bear arms.
Mm-hmm.
And look at now, they show that picture of him looking like a little defenseless little white boy.
Crying, and not to mention all the crying he did. That could have got an Academy
But
Award
want to
there.
dismiss that this boy's mother, well, wasn't even 21. This
Mm-hmm.
boy's mother took her son
Mm-hmm.
across state lines with an automatic weapon
Mm-hmm. What was the
to go
plan?
and attack people.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrorism.
Exactly. Exactly.
That is terrorism.
Mm-hmm.
This is look just like, for instance, if something was to happen back in the day. What you mean somebody sheep was stolen and they think a black man took it.
Mm-hmm.
Every white boy around that area believes he's a deputy now, and he has a right to go and assault a cause by live or dead, bring him in.
Mm-hmm.
Same mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking that they have the right to hunt people down and kill them this way. Just like they did down here in Brunswick, Georgia.
Exactly. Come on. Mm-hmm.
They believe that. So we
Mm-hmm.
have to make sure that we get involved and say, are the police really protecting us? Or are they protecting them?
But Leonard, what would you say to a person that would say that though, Leonard? We gonna go to war for something that's not even our fight. Is that true?
People are, see, that's the thing, and that's ignorant as well.
Mm-hmm.
What is the fight, first of all?
Mm-hmm. Come on.
To fight against good and evil.
Mm-hmm. As it should be. As it should be.
As it should be.
Yes.
We are in this situation solely because of our history of race relations.
Mm-hmm.
And this didn't even involve black people as it relates to the victims and the perpetrator.
Mm-hmm.
Because the black folks were doing what they were doing. But they tried to demonize all these protests as remember how it was, Black Lives Matter was being, the propaganda was telling everyone that this was some type of terrorist extremism.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And look at God.
Mm.
That's them white boys. They've always been the culprit. I've never been to protests as violent as these.
Mm-hmm.
But it don't happen unless the evil white boys show up.
Mm-hmm.
And these evil white boys that show up got evil white boys that wear judges' robes. They register with the bar. They defend cases and everything every day.
Mm-hmm.
This is called institutional racism.
Exactly. We got a couple of people that's on the Facebook page here. Monique, if you can have an opportunity, give us a call, 508-924-3521. Lester, we love to hear from you as well. 508-924-3521. Read what they said. Monique said, can't take that mindset. Say she can't take that mindset. And Lester says, I've been hearing these conversations all my life. 61 years old, nothing's going to change. And I would love to speak to both. If y'all were available, if y'all are available, I would love to speak to you. I'd love to have an opportunity to to hear your heart. I would love to have the opportunity to hear your heart. We have Charles. Well, Charles, are you there? Charles, are you there? Unmute yourself, brother. Oh, he said Charles. He said he can't talk. He said he can't talk right now. Okay, he had to get out there. Say he couldn't talk. But Leonard, yeah, it's a lot of things going on, man, and a lot of people, just like Lester Jordan said, he been hearing this thing for all his conversations all his life. He says he's 61 years old today. He says nothing's gonna change. Do you believe that?
Well, this is the thing. If we don't do what it is we need to do, it won't change.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You still should be fighting.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
If it hasn't changed.
Exactly.
These people in these types of positions have been about this type of behavior for so long.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There are people who see this happen across the nation every day. But now, decent people, regardless of race, are coming together to stand against the enemy.
Mm-hmm. And that's across the board.
And this is where this race stuff just breaks down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good.
Look at how racism has people behaving.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And now remember now, we're not going to forget, let's remember about the boys that went to register to vote in the South.
Mm-hmm.
Went to participate in voter registration, remember?
Yes, I do.
They came up missing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The boys wasn't black, the boys was Jewish.
Yeah. Was it, if I'm not mistaken, it was 2 white ones and 1 black, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Right. People don't understand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Back in the day, this would have had a lot of different dynamics, but because we've changed so much.
Mm-hmm.
And we can look at this right now and see that, hey, he can walk down the street and shoot and kill anybody he wants to.
That's not what happened.
Hold on.
He can just go with an intent to murder.
Oh, God, these motherfucking people.
You know, we can hear you, Charles.
So you know, there are people that are very sympathetic towards what this young man did, and they approve of what he did.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be able to justify it the next time, and the next time, and the next time, like they've been doing for how long, Ashimi?
Ever. Let me go to Charles.
There's always some caveat.
Exactly.
For people that support that side.
Mm-hmm. Charles, we have Charles with Charles. What's on your heart, brother? I see Charles on the video side with us.
Man, the weird part about this whole thing.
Hey Charles, turn your volume down just a little bit. You're super high, bro. Turn your volume down just a little bit.
Turn it down. Is that better?
Turn your volume
is
down
that
just
better?
a little bit. Keep going.
Is that better?
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I want to make sure that it's not blasting everybody.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Go ahead.
Better?
What's on your heart, bro?
Right.
We talked about
the weird part about
the topic we're having. The topic, so he was acquitted, is the topic we're talking about today. But go ahead.
Which is good. He's if you've ever been to trial before, on anything with violence like that, like I have, and the DA don't know what they're doing and stuff like that, then yeah, he deserved his acquittal. The crazy part about it to me is I don't understand is why Black Lives Matter there when ain't nobody black involved. You understand?
Well, I think in this instance, Charles, it's a life situation. And Black Lives Matter, you know, it is. And hold on. And there is a thing that says Black Lives Matter. Yeah, but that don't necessarily mean that all lives don't matter. We're not saying that other people don't matter.
All lives do matter.
We're not saying that. Right. So, but what we're saying is this right here. You know, I can't. It's hard for me. The idea of killing somebody, 2 people, shooting 3, and you kill 2 of those people
who deserved it.
How can you say somebody deserved to die?
If you attack me and I got a gun, you deserve to die. Well, either you're gonna die or they're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell
Mm-hmm.
me this: if a man was attacking you, whether you had a gun or not, and you had a knife, would you not
Mm-hmm.
protect your life?
What is premeditated murder? What is
No
premeditated?
premeditate. No. Okay,
Listen,
let me
listen,
tell you something about. You been to trial before?
Charles,
Have you been to
Charles,
trial before?
Charles.
Mm,
Hold on, hold on.
mm.
What is premeditated murder? Just, answer that for me. What is premeditated murder?
Premeditated murder is when you like the word is premeditated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to kill me somebody tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You
Now,
understand? Now, let me ask you this.
mm-hmm.
Just because I carry a gun at Walmart, if I carry a gun
Mm-hmm.
now and somebody attack me, I'm going to, my whole thing is when I go to the range to practice, to shoot, to kill somebody who attacks me, correct? Now, if
Mm-hmm.
somebody attack me and I got a gun, is it premeditated
Let me
or
ask
is
you
it
this question.
self-defense?
Okay, let me ask you this question.
You didn't answer
Hold
my
on.
question, brother.
It could be again like what we're doing right now. It could be both sides depending on who's listening to that particular question. How the answers gonna be changed. Now
Did you
watch
hear
this. Now watch
did
this.
you hear
I
the
did
whole
do this.
trial?
Hold on, Charles. Hold on, Charles. Let me do this. Let me stay in my seat now. But my thing is this right here. If there's I know there's a KKK meeting in Alabama. I live here in
Mm-hmm,
Georgia. I live here in
mm-hmm,
Georgia. I pack my
mm-hmm,
gun. I pack my guns.
mm-hmm,
I get in my car. I
mm-hmm,
drive down to where the Klan meeting, where the Klan rally is going to be. And I
mm-hmm.
say, well, I'm not going out there to kill anybody, but if somebody come at me at this Klan meeting, somebody come at me, I have the right to defend myself.
That's
I
true.
have the right to defend myself. Now, if I
That's
go
true.
to court looking like I look right now, and the
Uh-uh.
roles reverse, you can't say that, Charles. Please,
See,
brother.
that's the whole
Please,
thing
brother.
that's killing me
Please,
about you
brother.
all. Let me tell you what's killing
Well,
me about you all. You
what
all are
you?
talking about a if and a if.
Mm-hmm,
So you can't get mad off an if. Now, check it out now. I've been to court where two black guys, listen to me, killed
mm-hmm,
another black guy.
mm-hmm,
Listen to me now. They killed this dude. I was
mm-hmm,
in jail with them, so I know they killed this dude.
mm-hmm.
It's not for me to say. Listen, one of
But
them killed him. They got off from killing this black guy
mm-hmm,
because something that the DA messed up was same thing with this guy.
mm-hmm.
It was, you understand? So we can't keep thinking that only white people walk out of court because these two brothers, I saw this myself, walked out
Mm-hmm.
of court and guess what they had? They had a public defender.
Mm,
And they
mm,
stayed in jail for a year.
mm-hmm.
I know they was in jail for a year because I
How
was in
long?
jail that year.
How long did Rittenhouse, how he says name? How long did he stay in jail?
Um, it's probably been almost a year. I'm not sure.
Mm.
But the thing about it is that we're worried about Rittenhouse and what this white boy did to white boys, but nobody is speaking about what Dorf and this black guy, the security guard. Remember the black security guard got killed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Black
Mm-hmm.
Lives Matter, not nowhere near him, nowhere
Mm-hmm.
near his family or anything.
So we're not here. See, it sounds as though
You
we're
said
trying.
if.
Let's charge it. Hold on, brother. Let me stay in my seat now. Let me stay in my seat. But let me say this right here. It sounds as though we're trying to put Black Lives Matter on trial, and that's not the case here. That's what we.
No,
That's
no, no,
what
no,
we
no,
do.
no, 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 no. They shouldn't have been there. They shouldn't have
Charles,
been there at all.
I do this a certain way, brother. I do this a certain way. Let me do it
Okay.
the way I do. Okay. My thing is this right here. It sounds as though to me we're putting Black Lives Matter on trial, and that's not
Wow.
the case because we're talking about a specific thing. The topic is so he was acquitted. So he
Right.
was
So,
acquitted. And so if we're gonna talk about so he was acquitted, and if I'm gonna keep this broadcast going as it is, so he was acquitted, Black Lives Matter has nothing to do with this.
all right. So,
Let's
he
talk
was
about what we're talking
acquitted.
about.
So, all
Hold
right.
on, Charles. Let me go. Hold on, Charles. Hold on. Stay
I'm
right there.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Let me go
I'm
to
sorry.
Leonard. What's on your heart, brother?
Oh, I'm just listening because I already told you what would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we even care?
Charles, hold on, brother. You can't do that, Charles. Hold on. Come on, we gotta have let's show some self-control, brother.
Say the very same
I
thing?
got you, brother. Let me
Mm-hmm.
myself.
Mm-hmm.
Did I not tell you that?
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea Charles would call or anything of that.
Mm-hmm.
I just wait and see what people say.
Mm-hmm.
I make a pretty fair assumption of what I saw to be a huge plan and strategy involved.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, he said it. The propaganda of it all was fed to some people as if it was Black Lives Matter.
And that's
as I said before, now look at God. So we're still standing up for what is right, despite the color of those individuals. It's justice that is the matter. They supposed to change the name of their organization because you don't like them using the word black. They Black Lives Matter, whether they at a bake show. They ain't had no business being there. The nerve of some people, Raheen.
And see, my question.
But this boy, he had every right to do what he did. Because Black Lives Matter was wrong for being there in the first place. See, we stand up for justice. It ain't about the color of your skin, it's about justice.
Exactly. I can agree with that. I can agree, and that's one of the things. Hold on, we got another caller on the line. Let me see who we got here. Monique,
Yes.
tell everybody who you are, where you calling from.
We're calling from Virginia.
Hey, Monique, how you doing today?
I'm doing just fine.
I think you've been listening to. I think you've been listening to us for a minute, and we're talking about so he was acquitted. So what's on your heart?
Well, I just wanted to comment about the Black Lives Matter. So why they should have been there. I think we have to be vigilant because we can't ignore what's going on in their world and only concentrate on in our world. Because what's going on in their world can affect what's going on in our world. Because by him being acquitted, what they're telling us is that these people can walk around with their weapons fully engaged and it'd be okay. Listening to the trial, I can see why those young men approached him. Because in their mind, it's not normal for somebody to be walking around with that type of weapon, pointed at somebody. So obviously, this is somebody of a threat. So I can see why they did what they did. But going back to the Black Lives Matter, yes, they need to pay attention to that because by this guy getting off like that, there's going to be more to come. So we need to be more vigilant. We need to be more mindful of who we put in positions from, the sheriff to the judges and these DAs. We need to be more mindful of that. And we have to pay attention to that. Even though there was nobody black in this situation, but this can trickle over, which it probably already has, but it can get worse because we'll find ourselves, 60 years ago where, these people want to deputize themselves and, come in people's houses. Eventually, it might get to that extent.
Okay.
But,
Okay, Monique, don't hang up. If you got a few minutes, hang out with us. We're gonna be here for about 45 more minutes. So if you can hang out with us, because I definitely want to get some more of your input on this. But we got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, it's Kurt, Charm City, baby. Charm City.
Hey, good deal, Kurt.
Raven Nation, baby.
So he was acquitted. Kurt, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
You know what's on my heart, man?
Talk to me.
That was fracker-knackle bull crap at its finest, right?
Okay.
And you know what? To piggyback on something that baby girl just said on the radio. During the run to freedom, during the slave days, You know, there was white abolitionists that were murdered. Some shot, some killed, some burned, because they believed that slavery was illegal and unjust.
Okay.
And what we just saw was a time to kill, get acquitted. Or I ain't even gonna say acquitted because they found him not guilty. So I think an acquittal is something different. But I'm not, real. I can't tell you what the law is, but not guilty verdict is a not guilty verdict. I think an acquittal can be brought up in appeal. It can be appealed.
Okay.
But what I just seen racist Caucasian America win. I just saw the South win again. I just saw the South win a case. And I hate to say it like that, but I just saw the Sons of the Confederacy win a case.
Wow.
A couple things that I paid attention to. The fact that that judge told that jury and the prosecutor and the defense that you cannot refer to the men that were killed as victims, and you cannot refer to the man that was shot and wounded as a victim, said plainly that the judge had a bias. So what did we learn? We learned that, guess what? We need to pay more attention to who's being appointed, who's being put up for judge seats. Because the judge of all people should be the most non-biased person in the room, because he should be setting on law. So what is the law and precedent of the judge having the right to tell these folk that they cannot use the term victim for the men that were shot? What was the purpose in that? So he told you his biases right there. And it wouldn't surprise me that if the jury would have came back with a guilty verdict, that he would have personally overturned a verdict.
Wow.
That what we saw today was a travesty, bro. That was a travesty. I don't care how you try and paint it, how you try and flip it. That was a travesty. This city that I'm in right now, Raheen, for the listeners that don't know, this city tried to give me 5 years for my guns, handguns, that was bought by me, registered by me, and tried to give me 5 years per bullet. And then on top of that, was going to try and charge me with trafficking a firearm across state lines. I didn't shoot nobody. I didn't wave a gun at nobody. I didn't threaten to murder nobody. I didn't threaten to rob nobody. None of that. They was trying to send me to jail for a minimum of 5 years. You're telling me this kid who is not old enough to even purchase a weapon in the store was in his legal right to transport a semi-automatic weapon across state lines. He went from Illinois to Wisconsin. That means that he basically traveled at least 2 states.
Exactly. Hold on.
Why was his mama never brought up on charges, Raheen?
Yeah.
Because she took him.
Just as guilty. Hold on for a second, Kurt. Hold on. We got a couple of other callers on the line. I want to somebody else just called in. We got 3 callers on the line right now, and I want to go. The next caller on the line on the docket was is Rico. Rico, what's on your heart? What's on your heart, man? The phones are blowing up right now.
Man? What's going on with y'all, man?
Hey, doing good. Hey,
I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's good you came on. Can you hear me?
Yes. I hear you.
Yeah, it's good you came on. You know, but I think this is one of those situations where we have to make sure that we didn't get too caught up in our emotions. I wasn't too surprised. I can honestly say that I wanted him to be guilty, but now that when I look deep down inside and do some soul searching, I have to admit that I wanted him to be guilty based off of my emotion and my personal feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Once I saw that the judge said that you couldn't refer to those people as victims, I didn't agree with it, but then I saw why he did that.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I didn't understand why he did it, once he did it, I knew that they wasn't going to be looked at the same. Once he threw the gun charge out, then it was what it was. You know, we should have known and expected from that point forward that this was actually going to be looked at as self-defense once they wasn't going to hold him accountable for having the weapon or saying it was okay for him to have the weapon. So, you know, I'm going to say this is good you having a show on this. It's good people calling in. But this, to me, this isn't anything that we should spend a lot of time on harping and complaining about. This isn't something that we should go back and try to retry the case of who didn't get prosecuted or who did get prosecuted. It's a learning lesson. It's an experience. And at the same time, it's something for you to open your eyes about and understand that you got to really understand how law works, regardless of what's right and wrong. And sometimes the way the law works, they handicap you sometimes, and you got to maneuver around them handicaps. And when those handicaps are put in place, then you should have an expectation in the end. The best thing to do as far as the general public is to find a way to maneuver around those type of situations. Learn how to beat that type of situation if it happens again, or utilize it in your favor. But I just don't see. I mean, this is not even a black and white issue. This is a judicial issue.
Yes.
But in my opinion, I very well understand how he could be found innocent, because if I was him, I would have did the shooting too. If even if I had crossed state lines with a gun illegal, if there is a person running at me and I got this gun and I'm telling him to stop, you know, maybe I was blowing hot out. Maybe I went across state line and I was feeling like Superman, and I felt like if this and that was going to happen, I was going to take care of business. But then all of a sudden, when the opportunity came, I took off running. And if I take off running and I got this chopper with 30 rounds in it that will put a hole in you the size of a bowling ball, and you still, oh, come here, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to choke you, I'm busting you. Now, I ain't saying I would have got off. That's a whole nother issue.
Yeah, and that's what I was,
as a black man.
And that's what I was going to ask you, Rico.
He was in and understand that he was going to shoot.
And that's what I was going to ask you, Rico. Let me ask you this, and we got quite a few people on the phone line, so everybody hold on. We're coming to you. I'm coming to you next, so everybody hold on for a second. Rico, had it been say had it been you, and say you lived here in Atlanta, and you knew they was having a Klan meeting there in Alabama, okay? You pack your weapons up, you drive down to the Klan meeting, you say, I'm going out here, man, I'm gonna use this weapon to protect myself now. So, but don't nobody come at me, but you're going down there to where they're having the rally at, and then because of the fact that you're there, somebody says something to you and you shoot and you kill them. Do you think that the verdict gonna be the same?
It probably won't be the same, but now they're running at me, attacking me, and making me feel threatened, and I got this gun in my hand running from them. Oh, they asking for it. But and I'm gonna accept. Hey, I got to accept the good with the bad, but one thing about it is I don't know if this joke is gonna hurt me or not.
But see, my thing was,
run from him and I fall and he take my gun from me, he might do something to me. And guess what? If he do something to me, everybody in society gonna go back and laugh. Everybody plus my mama gonna say, "Boy, you deserve to get whooped. You had an AR in your hand and you let them get up on you and whoop you."
But see, all that could have been avoided. He stays behind at home though. He went to them.
I get that.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But hold on,
that's true. That's true. But that if was thrown out by the court, and they said it was okay. So from that point forward, y'all had to judge the case from there. That's what I did. See, my emotions told me if he wouldn't have won, he wouldn't have been in that situation. That's what my emotions said too. But when the judge said, okay, it was okay for him to be that, and it was okay for him to have that gun, 1 + 1 = 2, baby.
Good deal. Let me go to the phone line. We got quite a few people on the phone line. I'm gonna try to touch y'all. Charles, I see that you're not on screen. I'm gonna come back to you as well, Charles, but you're not on the screen, so I'll come back to you when you get back on the screen. Let me go to the 470 area code. 470. What's your name? Where you calling from? 470. Are you there? Okay, good deal.
Raheen.
Yes. Okay. Hey, Jamie, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Hey, doing good, doing good. So he was acquitted. Jamie, what's on your heart behind that?
You know, Raheen, I was looking at some news. You know, usually they show the picture of the black family and the drama, and they play on our emotion, whether it's intentional or whatever. But they were showing, if it's the same story, there's so much stuff they put on TV. But it was the guy's mother, and they was telling her story. And I said to my wife, I said, when you see something like that, there's a reason behind it. When you see things like that, they're pointing you in a direction. You know, just by the way that was handled. And I didn't even follow the story, but looking at it, and especially listening to Rico, and you know, from his analogy of it, I could see why he would make that statement. But my thing, anytime I'm looking at news, anything on society, it always has to be an issue other than black and white, because when you get into that, believe it or not, you're already off on the wrong foot. I think it's a matter of justice, and if there was some gray areas, we need to divert our energies to eliminating those. If there's some questionable laws or whatever they could have done different to avoid that, that's what needs to be addressed. Because when we talk about this judicial system, it's a double-edged sword. When we need justice, that's the same system we go to. And when we don't get it, that's the same system we need to be fighting against. So either way it goes, our cry should always be justice. That way those individuals that are in the decision-making position, to include people of color and those who are not, if we can ever get that word at the forefront, we'll be all right. And saying all of that, there's no way that I could say anything other than, because I don't know all the details, if that was a just decision, then I would definitely be one that would be behind it. But if it was an unjust decision, then I would definitely be one that's opposing it. But lesson-wise, I would say there's some preparations that we need to look at. As I heard him say about this guy having a gun and he's running and somebody running behind him, you know, the scariest person in the world, you corner them, they're going to fight.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the bigger you are, whatever they have to use is usually going to be their weapon. That doesn't justify it, but that sort of sheds light on what was expected of the norm that situation should have occurred. No, should he have killed him? You know, that's a chance you take. Who knows? The guy might have been scared as hell and just start firing. We don't know. But bottom line, he had a weapon. He was being chased. It was used. It went before the court system. And the question isn't about a white man or whatever shooting a black man. It's really about what's the person or the family given a trial, and what's the decision a just one.
Wow. And at the end of the day, and I'm gonna go to Cassandra, and I'm gonna go to Waleed. But at the end of the day, you still have 3 people that was shot, and two of which died. They're dead today, and he's been acquitted. And so, you know, it's so much going on in this thing. Cassandra, what do you say to that? Good evening to you. So he was acquitted, Cassandra. So he was acquitted. Cassandra, you there? Cassandra, can you hear me? Come back to Cassandra. Waleed. So he was.
Yeah, can you hear me, brother?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. How you doing today, sir?
Oh, I'm doing excellent. Thanks for having the show, brother.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you for joining us, man. Definitely appreciate that. So he was acquitted. Waleed, what's on your heart?
I'm gonna say this, man. I hear everybody talking, and you know me, and I think I can one up the brother. I'm 63 years old, right? So I go back from the Bronx down to here in Atlanta and across the country as far as hearing these juries and justice. We can, and I like how you put it in position. If it was a black man going to a Klan rally, and how would the justice be? Let's number one thing, please, everybody know this: the justices, the way you see it in black and white. Stop expecting this system to ever work and we put ourselves next to them. Stop that. I've been stopped that. That's number one. Number two, the lawyers that people pay for or appointed to them or whatever, they know how to manipulate language. They know how to manipulate these things. So whether he would have did life like Dylan Roof, who shot them people in the church, we went, yeah, get him. Chauvin, who's supposed to be getting 20 years for killing, George Floyd. Yeah, get him. We have this get him. We want get back. Then we applaud when OJ got off or another black man got off. What we got to do is say, what position are you putting yourself in? If a person come in your house and break in, right? They say, don't shoot him in the back. And if you do, drag him in your house, leave him on the front of the floor. So we have this violence or peace. I'm about peace. I have this fantasy of world peace. It's delusional, but it's a fantasy. Mm-hmm. So he was acquitted. Yes. I knew that was coming, just like the other brother said. I seen that coming when I saw the instructions from the judge. Do I have an emotional feeling for it? No. Am I having any type of feeling because it was a white guy shot too? No. When you go to a rally with a bunch of people and you taking a rock to a gunfight, or you going around police who could club you half to death, you putting yourself in a position to get beat or shot. So I say to people who are going to protest, the next thing, if you ain't out there bulletproofed up with a helmet or your gun, expect to get beat or shot, or stay your ass home. I just don't think protesting, to me, and I'm going to say this last thing, and it may be controversial. You told me to take my gloves off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I keep my gloves off?
Take your gloves off. No profanities, though. Don't curse. Yeah. No profanities.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say one. I'm not going to curse. I do a podcast.
Okay.
I'm more cerebral than that. But I'm going to say this. Hey, people who are affected by the outcome of a jury trial or anything that affects your people. Hey, I'm going to say this like I always say. Imagine it be a Guido, a Gotti, or somebody. Imagine it be a Yakuza. They happy written houses off because you know what? He going to get found. So if you really, really are feeling some kind of way, you know what to do. What did America do when they thought we were guilty? Do I have to give you all that history lesson? You know what they did. Mm-hmm. They found us. So if you're really upset, there should be a fund that's paid. If you really, really think, whether the white family or whoever do it, if they really want this thing done, Rittenhouse ain't going to be around too much longer. So the emotion is silly to me as a 63-year-old. Mm-hmm. It got to get got how it got to get got. Because guess what? When we cross each other and we did something unjust, we find each other. So whoever needs to find him, if they think he's really guilty, he going to get got. Do I want that to happen? I'm saying cut the emotion. Let's just go ahead and make things happen. Or sit back and know that this system has two justices. And when we try to double judge and think we should be treated fairly too, this country wasn't built this way. These people are scavengers. They do what they want to do. They wrote up a constitution that they still haven't changed almost 400 years later. So don't expect these people to do nothing for us. We got to do for us.
Good deal. Good deal.
Even though that situation is about doing for us.
Absolutely.
Let's just get our minds right.
Hold on.
Not expect this thing to go in our favor or any favor. That thing happened because they had a manipulation.
Okay. Hold on. Wally, hold on, man. Let me pull some more people in. Hold on for a second. Don't go nowhere. Stay where you at. Charles, what's on your heart, brother? Charles, unmute yourself.
I'm back, man. I apologize. Yeah. I had a couple of patients come in. But
what's on your heart? Talk to me.
I tried to hear as much as I could on the conversation, and even if you don't mention Black Lives Matter, let's say we don't even mention, because your question is, you're right. Your question is, so he's acquitted. The next thing to me is, if somebody says, so he's acquitted, my thing is, so what? He's acquitted. They get acquitted. People go to court and get acquitted all the time. Nothing is big about this. It really isn't. Only thing big about this is that the media is making it big, and black people like to follow things like that because this actually changes nothing in the black neighborhood. Nothing. This has been going on for decades. They've been going on to court. Hell, I went to court. Didn't change nobody's lives in the neighborhood. You get what I'm saying? So when I sat in court and I saw how they pick juries, when you're in a violent crime, like I said, when it's a violent crime, they pick the jury a certain way. I'm not going to sit here like the conspiracy people and say, well, the judge was this, the judge was that. That judge, listening to that judge and listening to the judge that I had in DeKalb County, you understand, I lost my case. I lost my case. Those guys sounded the same. Only difference between that one and the one that I had, to me, is that Georgia didn't have a stand your ground law. It was a domestic violence thing with me and my stepfather. But the thing was, it was hard, like, and nobody died, okay? But it's hard for somebody to get a murder thing. You understand? Murder is just a hard thing, whether you white or black. Like I'm telling you, I've seen 2 black guys walk away from killing somebody in a dice game with they had a public defender. This is nothing new. Only thing, they're just trying to make people believe in the same. And the other people who say, well, if he was black, that's, you know what, I can say if he was black about every court case that goes on out there. I could go around and say if he was black or if he was white, if he was black or if he was white. If doesn't matter.
What would that change if you were to say that? If you were to put that narrative in there, you don't think it would be any change in it? You won't be.
No, because I went to court. No, because you could say there's going to be change on everything. Then, if I was white,
but you can also say there's not going to be any change.
If you was
white,
also
say there's not no change.
Bro,
go ahead.
So if you was white, you think your radio station be bigger? When it's other people out there who are white who don't have what you have. It doesn't have anything to do with the color of the skin of this dude.
My thing is this right here. My thing is hold on, Charles. Hold on. My thing is this right here, man. We have to deal with apples and apples, not apples and oranges.
Correct. Apples and apples. You can't say if then. You can't say if he was white. You can't say if he was black if you're dealing with apples and apples. Because you could say if to everything then. You get how dangerous that is? If you could say if he was white to that. Okay, let's do
it like this. Let's do it like this. We're gonna take this thing to a whole different level. Let's do it like this. Let's take the if. Hold on. Let's take the if out of the equation and look at the historical value of what we're talking about. Now, what has history said? What has history said? Let's take the word. Hold on. Let me ask you the question. Let's take the word if out of the equation. So we're gonna just dispel if. It's not no longer. Now, what has history said?
I'm waiting on you. And is that the rest of the question? Is that it?
That's it. What has history said about what has
can I answer that? Can I answer it?
Absolutely.
All right. History has showed us that it's where you're located at.
Oh, Lord.
You understand? Hold on now. Hold on. All right. Let me ask you this. No. Let me answer you first. And then let me ask you this. The answer is history has shown us that it's according to where you at. All right. Because my history, you gotta understand, me, but being black, went to court and I had a white judge. You gotta understand. See, I'm black, so I went to court with a white judge.
So we can't take one case, Charles, and put it across the board and let it represent everything. We can't do that.
It doesn't. Exactly. So you can't say what history says because we know that they are white people. So are there white people in prison right now?
Let's look at. Hold on. Yes, there is. To answer your question, yes, there is some white people in prison.
So they lost their court case.
Hold on. Let's deal with that. Let's deal with what you asked me a question. I'm answering.
Let me finish.
Hold on. Go ahead.
All right. So being that it's white people in white people in prison, did they lose their court case?
Obviously, by the standards that they use in the court system from the narrative that they brought forward, yes.
So
are they guilty?
Put it this way. I've been to prison. There are white people in prison. Put it that way. I know it's white people in prison. These white people in prison, a lot of them they lost their court cases. So the whole thing is that white people lose their court cases and white people win their court cases also.
Okay, now that you made your point, let's say this right here. Let's look at the population, and let's look at the population inside the prison system. How does that play into it? Let's look at the population
now. We're going somewhere different now. Okay.
Okay. No. We deal with the whole situation. Let's deal with the population.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
Now you're going somewhere different, brother. Mm-hmm. You're going somewhere different because if you're looking at the population in prison, you also now we can see the whole dangerous thing about keep changing the subject because it's not fitting your narrative means that we're going to keep going different areas.
Explain to me how it's not. Explain to me. First of all, let's stay where we at. Yeah, hold on one second.
I want to ask a question.
What's that?
This is Rico. I want to ask a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I'm trying to figure out. We talking about black people in prison and the prison population and how
we actually wasn't.
Hold on, Charles.
I mean, this is the question, right? I mean, that's where we headed.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to figure out how this relates to a young white teen shooting three white men.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how we get to the point of proving injustice and throwing a black issue in it when the only thing related to it black was the fact that you had the white dudes at a Black Lives Matter rally.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Okay.
I mean, so this is like it is getting in the left field.
Let me tell you how we got there.
We tie everything that involves us into this situation when this does not even involve us.
Okay, but the way we got to talking about the Black Lives Matter is a thing that Charles brought to the equation when we first got started. Charles brought Black Lives Matter into the equation.
He's saying that black people shouldn't even. This thing is not even Black Lives Matter, like you said. Is that black people being as concerned about this thing is mind blowing.
Charles, would you agree? Would you agree with me when I say that the Black Lives Matter came to the conversation because you brought that issue to the conversation?
No, that is true. But remember, you said don't bring them in. That's true. But you said, remember when I came back, you said let's not even mention them, and I haven't since I've been back. Mm-hmm. So you are correct about that. But I haven't mentioned it since I've been back.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But see, I just want to get some clarity as to where Black Lives Matter came into the conversation because they were not here.
Oh, definitely, I did because I just didn't understand why they were there. I don't understand why black people are so concerned about this verdict, not as of in a bad way. Not that we should only be concerned about only black things, but nothing bad about this verdict. This dude used the system, which we can use, which I have used. And won the case. I lost my case, but still kind of won it because I didn't get the time they said I was going to get if I would have took the plea. You understand? And this is a white judge and a white DA.
Wow.
So I don't. When you look at examples of stuff that I can see past that I've been involved in, I've been to prison, I've been to court, I lost the court case, but I still didn't get the time that the DA said I was going to get because I lost the court case. Because the judge saw what was going on and he made my sentence less. So it's a lot of things we look at that they're not showing us, and they only show us to get the emotions out of us. Because if you're not thinking and having an understanding that this thing happens to everybody, this Kyle Rittenhouse thing is only big because they made it big. When they talk about, I guarantee you that they will not give that officer David Dorff the same he won't get any of this. You understand? And he was killed during the riots. He won't get any of this. This white boy killed a known pedophile, He went on with a known pedophile, not saying that he should have got killed because he's a pedophile. He should have been killed because he's a pedophile. And another guy was some thug. See, white people don't get riled up over killing thugs like black people do.
Okay. Wrap it up for me, Charles. Got to pull some more people into the conversation.
It's wrapped up, brother. I made my point. And I don't think anybody over here can change what I'm thinking for me because
we're not here to see the thing about it. Hold on, hold what you got. We're not here to change your mind, brother. We're here to make our point.
I know it.
Charles. Hold on, brother. We're not here to change your mind. We're here to make our point. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh, I'm just listening because you have people looking at it from completely different perspectives.
Yes.
To some people, it's a black-white issue.
Mm-hmm.
When really it's an injustice issue.
Mm-hmm.
It eventually will turn in to where anytime people collectively protest, it makes it okay for vigilantes to come and shoot them down.
That's not what happened.
Charles, hold on, Charles. Hold on, brother.
There are similar bills across the United States that represent this mentality. We have to deal, first of all, with a racist citizens arrest law.
Mm-hmm.
Citizens arrest? Really? Because you think I'm doing something, you have the right to what? Arrest me? Think about what a volatile situation that creates. We should not even want to champion a system that allows a person to get away with what this young man is getting away with.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And then not to mention is that this is this young man.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why some people may believe that he's getting away with it is because he's white. Some people believe that. Some people also believe that if he was black, he never would have been acquitted.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that they show on the television are those ones that allow you to look in at these situations. And you can think to yourself, what if it was me involved? What if I'm at a rally, which I go to lots of rallies,
mm-hmm.
and I'm protesting and blah, 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 and a guy comes down the street with an AK-47 and just start killing us because he felt that was the right thing to do. Maybe I should just pack up my gun and go to wherever I think injustice is and start shooting them down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, I guess he was doing the work of God since one of these persons they claim was a child molester. See how that propaganda works?
Wow. Wow.
Oh, I'm going to put it in the perspective of it's okay he killed them because they was a child molester. So that justifies it for them.
Makes it right.
Yeah. But see, how soon we forget this is how our injustice is that we see every day as black men, being assumed to always be guilty of whatever someone else says. We always wrong. We always taking things and we're not acting and behaving the way we should.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives somebody else the right to shoot me down in the street.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
No, we don't want to live in a place like that.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, we do.
Yes.
That's why people are sitting on this line right now, 63, 70 years old, or what have you. I'm like, well, yeah, this happens quite regularly. Matter of fact, this looks just like America, actually. We got a law that says, one, I can block evidence even in cases that would exonerate me. But somebody's not interested in me being exonerated.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Let's keep this.
They couldn't understand. It makes a difference. But okay, so why did you get more time for crack?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what our people were selling.
Yep.
And sometimes they managed to catch up a couple white boys in the school. But they went after crack because it was what black people usually were selling.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bigger picture behind all this. They burned this city. Kenosha, a little city in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing started because of police misconduct.
Wow.
Or how some people felt in that area about the black man that was shot in the back. I think he's paralyzed. Jacob Blake.
Mm-hmm.
The brother that be on the line, he brings up everything that has been fed through this machine. Now I got I can't, the judge say I can't call them victims. Well, if you dead and I'm shot, and this boy sitting up here, ain't nothing wrong with him. He must have done something to those people.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But you can't call them victims.
Wow. Let me go and let everybody know the phone lines are open. We got quite a few people that's holding on, but the phone lines are open. Give us a call. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Cassandra, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
What's on your heart, sister? So he was acquitted.
Yeah, well, yeah, according to some of us, so he was. So big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it is colorized. We want colorized or not. Whether 3 white boys or 3 black boys were shot and killed, it is colorized. Because the bottom line is, ain't no Negro on this planet would have walked out of there acquitted. And ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing no different.
Mm-hmm.
OJ did.
I think it was totally unjust.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was totally unjust.
Mm-hmm.
A 17-year-old kid walking around with a damn AK, whatever it is, shooting people because he feel like it. Ain't no damn... Man, listen. Please. The level of ignorance that I hear is just pisses me off to the 10th power. Because that's what they did to us. And still doing to us all the time. And for us to justify or to say, oh yeah, well, he was just acquitted. He was a kid just defending himself. Yeah, he had a right to. Man, listen, that kid went looking for trouble and he found what he was looking for. And he killed people. 2 people and maimed another one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they do to us. They hunt us down like animals. I'm gonna tell you what. Y'all can say what y'all want for this one. Yeah, oh yeah, good. He got off. He was acquitted. Okay. Watch them try that. I almost cussed with this Arbery case and see what happens in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Try that here. See how that's gonna play out for y'all good people that think that the good white men are just doing their job. They were just protecting themselves, and that's why they killed Ahmaud, because they was just protecting themselves from that nigga that was in their neighborhood.
Mm.
Try that on for a fit here.
Mm-hmm.
Leonard, forgive me. Forgive me, Leonard, because I'm pissed.
I do.
Charles, I gotta ask you a question.
So y'all actually fixing to try to link this trial with Ahmaud Arbery trial. Y'all, are these equal? These the same case scenario?
They real close. They both of them saying they were protecting themselves. The white boy said he was protecting himself from the white boys, and the white boy said it was protecting himself from Ahmaud Arbery. That sounds similar to me. That sounds similar under any circumstance. Even if I was weak-minded, that would sound similar. Yes, they are similar. Listen to it.
I was robbing the place. You assumed I was robbing the place.
Okay.
So now you automatically deputized to come kill me.
Okay.
Okay, let me do this. I got quite a few other people that's on the line, man. There's a lot of passion going on right now, but I gotta go back to charges.
I got something for you, Raheen.
Okay, I'm coming.
I'm
coming to you next, Charles. I gotta ask you a question, and I could be wrong. When Cassandra said that there was 2 people that's killed and one that was maimed, what did you say at that point?
It was 2 people that was killed, one that was maimed. Each one of them attacked this boy. All right? Now, it was proven in court. If you listen to the case, each one of them attacked this boy. Even the dude that was maimed went up there and honestly said, I pointed the gun at him, and then he shot me. This is what he said. Now, I'm going by what he said, not by how we feel, because I'm not about feelings, I'm about the fact that was in the case. He actually did say that. Now, the other 2 boys, one hit him with a skateboard, and the other one hit him. Those 2 guys, look, if you move the wrong way and you get killed for moving the wrong way and attacking somebody, that person has the right to defend themselves. Now, and I'm not going to even go into the Ahmaud Arbery thing, but as for him, this guy had the right to defend himself. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. The only thing that's similar to this, and yeah, I am going to say about Ahmaud Arbery.
Let me say this.
Ahmaud Arbery is that Ahmaud Arbery had the right to defend himself.
Charles, let me say this to you, brother, and because I got to move on. I got a lot of people listening in. I want to be fair to everybody and be respectful of their time as well. But let me ask you this question: should any responsibility be taken by him or his mother for putting that weapon in their car, driving across state line, and what
That's not what happened. He didn't put the weapon in the car, drive the car. Why are you all saying this when you didn't listen to the question?
How did he get there?
The weapon was driving across state line. The weapon was already there. You get what I'm saying?
Who gave him the weapon?
The weapon given to him by his friend. Huh?
Yeah, your volume went out. I can hear you now. Your volume went out for a second ago. Say what you just said again. I didn't hear you.
I said the weapon was given to him by his friend. He did not drive over the state line with the weapon. Number two, it's illegal for a kid that age to have a rifle in that state. That's legal. That's why that part got thrown out. A lot of people on here just talking and really didn't listen to the case. And I didn't hear all of it, but I heard everything. He did not drive it over because that would have been illegal. He did not drive it over. You understand? He did get it from somebody that was there, which was legal for him to have. So if it's legal for him to have, he can walk down the street with it. That doesn't mean you attack me because I have a weapon. They attack him. That's like a girl getting raped because she got on a short dress. Just because she got on a short dress don't mean you rape her. That's her dress. She's allowed to wear that dress, just like he was allowed to carry that weapon in any situation.
Okay. Let's keep it right there. That's your opinion, and I'm respecting you to have your opinion. But let me continue. Wally, you wanted to say something? I'm having a lot of background noise.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead. Yes.
All right. I want to give everybody a perspective since we're doing a comparison. I want everybody imagine this: the three white boys that was chasing Rittenhouse when he's running with his gun before he shot. Suppose they would have killed him. I don't want anybody to get emotional yet. Those three white boys shot Rittenhouse running. He's dead. Now those three guys are going to trial. Still three white boys. They shot Rittenhouse running. It will remind us, damn, they vigilante in their own people. That's one case. Now, don't leave me yet. Watch. Ahmaud Arbery. Let's say he had a Glock on him, right? And he was running from them three white boys. And he turned and blasted them and shot all three of them. We know what would have happened to Ahmaud Arbery. He was in the neighborhood he didn't live in, and he shot. That's the only comparison I wanted to make. We know that would have been different if Ahmaud Arbery would have blasted them three white boys. And it is going to be held to pay a fair equation. I'm telling you, in Georgia, everybody should be quiet, get the money together. Them three white boys try to walk around this state. It ain't going to happen. Now, the reason I'm using that comparison with Rittenhouse, either way, and the sister Cassandra got the right to be pissed, because what we're saying is you're pissed at the system. Black, white is different. We're saying you showing us something on TV to scratch our emotions, right? So when I look at this, I say, we know this system is broken. So whether it's Charles, whether it's Rico, whether it's Leonard, whether it's me, whether it's you, Raheen, we got to look at this system and say, from the years, and I want people to do this homework assignment. Go look at the movie Surviving the Game with Ice-T. They put that guy out there in the field, and people who saw it know what I'm talking about. It's an old school movie, about 30 years old. They were hunting him down to kill him. He turned the tables on them and killed each one of them who were trying to hunt him down for sport. It's called Surviving the Game. Mentally, we got to learn how to survive this game, because there's going to be another case. Trayvon Martin, we can go down the list. If we look at this system and know it's broken, we can't expect a broken system to be fixed by the people who built it to be broken, right? That's like asking the dentist to be your mechanic. You can't do it. So now that this system is broken, we got to see where we have to fit in and go, you know what? if I ever go to a protest, ever.
Okay, I think we lost him. I don't know how we did that. Hopefully he's gonna call back in, but he must have hit the button by mistake. Let's go to Monique. Monique, what's on your heart, sis? There you go. Monique.
Ali, I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Something happened, brother. Your line went out on us. Finish your thought. Wally, are you there?
Wally, I'm back. Yeah, I'm here. I'm gonna close out because I took my headphones off.
Okay.
Long story short, if we go to another rally ever, people, please know you could be killed or you may have to kill somebody. Do not go there thinking you can sing Kumbaya and they're gonna let you walk. So the next people who go to any rally, because I'm from the Black Panther mindset, go somewhere, know you're gonna have to spill some blood, or don't go. Don't keep going places thinking they like you. So we have to know anytime we gather with thousands of us, it may be some hell, repercussions and consequences. So I want us to not only take this case or the upcoming Arbery case and think this system is going to work for us. Know what we got to do. Sometimes be silent. Shut your mouth. If something happened unjust to us, guess what we got to do? We may have to hire somebody to look just like them, take care of that business. But see, we don't even think that's right. But that's how I think. I'm glad nobody in my family shot because I'm going to be real quiet. I'm going to handle my business. Mm-hmm. And I know people who know how to do it. But if we keep thinking it's going to be settled by, no. Sometimes we could be quiet and take a little lesson from other people who don't do a lot of television marching, don't do a lot of screaming. I wish you would see a Yakuza screaming. I wish you would see somebody in an organized crime family screaming and crying. They shut up and pass an envelope. It's done. Well, that's not practical, Wally. Then keep crying and screaming because you think this country gonna help you, and they not. And if you think they do, wake up. The coffee's brewing. Mm-hmm. I'm done.
Good deal. Good deal. Monique, are you there? Monique, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't have anything right now. I'm just listening.
Okay. Good deal. Leonard?
Right? Raheen?
Yes.
Yeah. Leonard, excuse me, if I may say something here. I've been taking some notes, Raheen, and we've done other programs that dealt with trying to build a community and all the various approaches, and the emotion word keeps coming up. And I just like to, if I may take a moment here, I don't know my brother, I heard him a couple times, but I'm thinking about justice. We've gotten outside of what we did get or didn't get, or what we should be asking for, because technically, looking for something because you're a certain color, even Dr. King talked about subverting justice. Injustice is injustice. I don't care if it's a black person or a white person that's doing it. And if we're going to ask for justice, and we look at as a community, look at the voices, even we that are speaking, we've heard the emotion. We've heard the cry for justice. My brother just finished. We've heard the cry against justice. So when we look at something that's happening here, we can't even focus on what's happening, but pulling in all the other things that's emotionalizing our community. So all it really takes is for our communities to continue to splinter in the way it's going now, because if my brother's doing something and his comment is there's a way to handle this, which, when does that same way turn on our community, or when does our community adopt that? Violence begets violence. There's a controlled degree of it that's necessary at times, but to just advocate violence, you're advocating something that's going to lead to fear. If there's no means of attaining justice, I guess it boils down to who has the biggest gun and who's willing to do the greatest injustice. We don't want to go there. At some point, we need to remember that we're talking about a system that's designed to do exactly what we are doing here. We're standing on different platforms. We're standing opposed to the true issue here, which is, was it just or was it not? We're bringing in other issues as though we're the jury, and unfortunately, we are deciding a verdict against what we claim we're standing for. We're breathing life into a system that might die out if ever we opposed it or allowed it. Sometimes we need to step back and look and ask the question, am I a part of the problem? Am I a part of the solution? And I challenge everybody that said anything on this stage here today. Your emotions, your apathy, whatever it is that you feel you're exercising, ask yourself honestly, is it a part of the problem or part of the solution?
Good deal. Good deal. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, man, I'm agreeing with the previous brothers. You know, first off, let me say I cuss too, but I ain't gonna go there because this is not the platform for that. You know, out of respect for you, you trying to stay on that, and I know if it gets too loose, we get a little too loose at the mouth, you might just go and shut this thing down and say, let's take it to the clubhouse, then we can open up.
Exactly.
But see, this ain't it. But see, what I do try to think of some type of logic. And in most situations that I hear of, I try to put myself in every participant's shoes. So I put myself in Kyle Rittenhouse shoes. I put myself in Travis McMichael and Gregory McMichael and Rodney Bryant and Ahmaud Arbery's shoes. I put myself in the shoes of the people that Kyle Rittenhouse shot. And I realized out of all of those people, I could see myself doing exactly what Ahmaud Arbery did, but I couldn't see myself doing what Travis or Greg did. I could see myself not quite doing what Kyle Rittenhouse did, but if I had to be in his exact same position, I might not agree with everything. But one thing I would not do, I would not run after a man with a semi-automatic rifle that will put a hole the size of a bowling ball in your ass. I would not chase after him. He telling me to stop. He telling me to back up. Leave me alone. Let me tell you something. If my son come at me and I feel in danger and I got an AK in my hand, he in trouble. You understand me? We are human beings. When you put a dog in the corner and he's scared and he fear for his life, regardless if he put himself in that situation, you got to be the biggest fool in the history of man to run at a person with that kind of weapon of weapon of destruction in his hand.
Exactly.
A firearm that would knock your head smooth out. But you a bad man. You gonna run at him anyway? I don't care what the situation is. It could be a Klansman in the middle of my black neighborhood. I ain't running at him. He got something I ain't got.
Yeah. Exactly. Take that S off your chest. Sometimes you got to take the S off your chest and put it down, brother. It don't work. It don't work. Charles, what's on your heart, brother? Unmute yourself.
Hey, I agree totally with what he just said, man. I'm similar to him in putting myself in situations of people. And like I said, man, it's acquittal. I don't understand how blacks think it's bad for blacks that this acquittal happened. When every law, there's not a law out there that a black can't get. You understand what I'm saying? It's not that I've seen. Somebody can probably, me being in court, me being, like I said, through trial. I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but me being through trial for violence and seeing how you pick juries and do all this and that, this and listening to he wasn't hunted down. He wasn't hunting anyone down. They attacked him. Y'all not even listening. He didn't bring all the things that were said in the beginning. He didn't bring the gun over the line. He wasn't underage. Only thing that was, he probably shouldn't have been there to me, but he was there. And just because it happened to white folks and white folks win, don't mean for a fact that black folks gonna lose. When a person says it's a fact, then I already know their mind is corrupt because it's not a fact. It's not a fact that any black man that was in that position would lose. That's not a fact. That's an assumption. So if you don't know the difference between a fact and an assumption or your speculation, then there again shows your emotions. Because a fact is something that only facts can do. You can't give me a fact off an if. An if, an IFF, if and only if, you can't give me a fact off of that. Nobody on here, nobody in the world can give you a fact off of an if. And I understand what you said. Well, you got to look at what history shows us. History doesn't show us this as a fact. It would happen if a black man was put in his position. That's not a fact. It's not a fact.
Charles, we can go back and forth with that, brother. We can definitely go back and forth. But hold on. Hold on. Mute your line. Mute your line, Charles. Mute your line. Let me pull somebody else in. Mute your line. Somebody. Who was that? Somebody was about to say something.
No, I'm just trying to figure out what country this man lives in, because in the United States of America, this pattern of behavior toward us has been going on forever and continues to go on, where we are judged and done all this crazy stuff to strictly because of the color of our skin and fear of who we are. So to say, I don't get it. Where are we? We must be in different places. We got to be living in different places because something is missing. If you think that black people are treated fairly or justly in this fucking country, there's something wrong with you. When did that start? When did we start getting justice and equality? Well, what the hell everybody fighting for? If we get everything just and equal, why are we fighting? Why are we trying to get laws changed if everything is just and equal in this messed up country? Man, come on. Whatever. Yeah, I don't stay in my emotions because that keeps me doing stuff. And I'm doing stuff. I ain't talking, I'm doing things.
Absolutely. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Hey, like you said, you can't assume people on your side just because they black. Like I see, some people think it ain't got nothing to do with us. Okay. That's how you feel. Okay. Everybody say that until they calling down and talking about, Al, can you come? Can the nation come? Can somebody come help us? Because we know we can't get a fair trial. I understand exactly how Cassandra is feeling right now.
Wow.
The implications for this are so long. I just broke it down to you on as it relates to the law. This is why people sit down and say, hey, maybe we're going to have to do something about these laws. Because everybody's not getting the same thing.
Yeah.
And if you think so, I'm going to pray for you. Because you're blind. And it doesn't make sense that people don't understand. Matter of fact, why did he go there? Why did the men that got shot, that are killed, got arrested? So they dead. But the one guy that's alive went there to provide medical support and everything for what was going on. And they thought that this young man was an active shooter. So me and Cassandra got these people, and we having a rally, and we see a white boy coming down, any boy coming down the street with an automatic weapon. Maybe I take the bullet so these other 25 or 40 or however many rounds he got in that gun don't kill all these other people. This is what you have to understand. These people are showing up to rallies to mow protesters down. And oftentimes the protesters are protesting unarmed. This young man engaged these individuals for the very simple fact that he came up on some protesters. They thought he came to do harm. Let's just call it a big misunderstanding.
Okay.
Let's just call it a big misunderstanding, because the young men approached him because they thought that he was coming to kill the crowd.
Yes.
They were trying to stop him from doing whatever it is he thought he wanted to do. How many rounds was in that weapon? Somebody may have thought, even if I am at a protest and I see somebody run up this way, Maybe I try to stop him before he kills 30 people. And if he shoots me, oh, well, at least I saved 30, 40 people.
Mm-hmm. Good
A
deal.
fool walked up on the schoolyard.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I decided to take the bullet instead of all these children.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's good. That's good.
This is what you have to understand. Law will be shaped according to these issues. And you have to understand, what is it? Oh, do you think it's okay for citizens to take authority in their own hands to do these types of things?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
If
Absolutely.
you do, you on one side.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't believe everybody can come and pretend to be the police or working with the police to justify what they do.
Mm-hmm.
What it got to do with you? I wasn't bothering you. Oh, but then again, you got some people that say, if I see somebody knock on my neighbor door that I ain't seen before, I shoot him too, because I thought he was breaking in my neighbor's house.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Good deal. Let me
See, this law is crazy, and we
Mhm.
have to understand the implications when it happens to this, because this becomes a part of case law.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's okay to do it if you can prove that you was doing it in self-defense. Well, if you point a gun at me, I'm probably gonna point a gun at you. So ain't we who defending themselves?
Mm-hmm.
If didn't nobody else had no gun, but you running down the street with a gun, who looks like they raising the most hell?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
I'm just
50.
trying to help people hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But then you put a story out in the news of some type that my background somehow justified, first of all, why I was killed. This boy was protecting himself from these bad guys because they were so much older than him. And they attacked this young man, and he couldn't help himself. He had to defend himself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taking my child to a riot.
Exactly. Let me keep this thing going. We got a few more minutes. We're going to get out of here, man. We initially was just gonna go an hour, but the conversation got real hot and heavy, and it got real good. And how the old folks say, got gooder and gooder, got gooder and gooder. Let me go to Jamie. Jamie, what's on your heart, brother?
You know, Raheen, when I came on, and it's been said a couple of ways, but I want to say this for clarity. And someone else said this as well, what the media does.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things we need to be mindful of, and you're a source of media, and to put it, and I'm putting it direct because there's been a lot of things that said that we have to take into account. As Brother Leonard laid it out there, but still had to retract some of what he put out there. And that's not to say he's insensitive, but at the same time having to incorporate the feelings into the drive, the momentum. There's a lot that needs to be done. And it's good to have a media source that can address that. But if we're going to be just like the others, where the whole intent, and it happened earlier, is to excite the emotions, that's counterproductive. Because again, that's why people went off in their little corners, claimed their little piece of where they're standing, whereas it should be a common territory. Injustice, and I'm going to say this again, it has to be the banner, because anything other than that, it puts white against black, or my desires against your desires. Someone made reference to someone walking away from killing someone in a crap game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they had just had enough to walk away before the shot was fired. That's no different than someone resisting the police and got killed in that exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Violence begets violence. And somewhere in there, if there's, at the end of the day, if we want anything, it has to be something that's going to matter, that will last from generation to generation. And as far as I know, when it comes to civil rights, it wasn't about black and white. It may have started that way, but it became about justice.
Mm-hmm.
And justice still needs to be our banner, and justice still needs to be our cry. And for those of you who would say that there's a white justice and a black justice, you're talking injustice. Look the word up. It has a meaning. It's neither black nor white. It's justice or it's not. And if it's not, it's injustice. Pure and simple.
It's all. I think. I honestly speak, I'm going to go to Wally, but I think it's all in the exercise. I think it's all in the exercise and how it's practiced, because you know there does lie a difference. Wally, what's on your heart, brother?
Okay, I appreciate what the brother just said, but I'm gonna leave you with this. Look at the history, technically his story, how
Mm-hmm.
this country was taken over. We
Mm-hmm.
don't, people always say, don't live in the past. No, no, look at the history. I wish there was justice when they was doing it. Well, that was then, this was now. No, let's stay on point. So when panels like this happen and people start talking, we need to do this. My biggest thing, and I said it earlier, I don't go to protest. I don't go to rallies. I don't scream for people who destroyed something that was natural to the universe to ask them to help us, because they're scavengers, the ones in power. I ain't talking black, white. I'm talking about the ones in power want it this way. So what I look at is the history of how this country was taken wasn't peacefully, wasn't justifiably. It was done. Now that it's in order that they want, we have to comply with the way we want them to do it right for all people. I wish we could hold hands, sing kumbaya, come together and go, you know what? This is fair. There's going to be another injustice that happens in our neighborhood with our people amongst each other. It's probably happening right now as we talk.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody we know who know us is hurting somebody we know for something frivolous and stupid. Somebody on the white side of town and probably some redneck town killing themselves, and they're going to go to court and get off. Ain't got nothing to do with us, but it's unjust for that white, probably redneck family. My position to really stand on what the brother just said, yes, it should be one justice. It should be something right. But the money that's involved in the prison industrial complex and to protect the career and interest of those with money, this distraction from us coming together as people is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, maybe even setting up for something that's going to happen with the next case and beyond. I would hope that nobody takes it to the streets if something happens in another case, including this one, where they start marching, protesting, because there's going to be somebody else with a gun and somebody else with a gun who got a gun who say, I ain't going to get shot. I'm going to shoot him first. That's wrong. But
Mm-hmm.
what we got to do is say, wait a minute, how did we come to war and lose peace? I told you my fantasy. I got this illusion about world peace. I would hope we could do it. We too far gone for it, but I practice peace. I ain't got
Mm-hmm.
no enemies. I ain't had to shoot nobody in my 63 years on this planet, nor do I got a bullet wound or prison sentence. When I
Mm-hmm.
talk militant like this, I'm saying it because I keep myself out of other people's business and my family to a point protected. But I guarantee you, my last thing, you will never, ever hear me on some show, some television crying because they hurt one of me. Won't happen. I'm going to be
Mm-hmm.
real quiet. And I'm only saying that because I'm doing the right thing and my resume shows it. And I would hope everybody believes that within their heart. Do the right thing, and hopefully you don't have to shoot nobody, get shot, argue, and maybe come together. But if somebody else chooses to rise up and put themselves in positions, even though it's your right to protest and do all of this and Second Amendment and bear arms, deal with the consequences that came with you showing up with the gun. You had to shoot that person. Hope you got a good lawyer because you was right. You should have had a gun to protect yourself. Now you better hope the justice system, the justice, not the injustice, works in your favor. And if it don't, oh well, that's how the history of this country was built. And on that note,
Mm-hmm.
all I'm gonna say, everybody, protect yourself the best way you can. Love your people as much as you can. Try to at least have healthy conversations because we're very cerebral people on this line. And I would hope nobody attacks each other, getting off the line thinking somebody crazy. He shouldn't have said that. Everybody got their right to their opinion, including Charles, because he has a personal experience that makes him think that way. So does Cassandra. So does Leonard. So do I. So do you, Raheen. And on
Mm-hmm.
that, my people, let's love each other the best we can and not wait for them to give us nothing.
Absolutely, Cassandra.
Yeah, well, thank you, Wally, for what you said. And, my position will not change. I still believe that justice is not colorblind in this country. And nor will, I don't think it'll ever be, actually, because we have too many, even our people that don't understand what injustice looks like. I fought for justice all my life and equality for my people. I've done that. I'm doing the work. But keep hearing people talking crap that ain't doing nothing, and I mean that. And I'm not trying to be buddies with nobody, so I don't care if you like me or don't like me. I'm gonna say what I gotta say.
Good deal. Good deal.
I'm fighting. I'm fighting. What you doing?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Charles?
Oh man, hey, Wale made a lot of sense. And it is the experiences that we go through that mold us to who we are and to make us believe the things that we believe. Whether we get factual or emotional, something made you move to that direction to find out what's factual and what's emotional. Like you said, the beginning of this thing was he's acquitted. So he's acquitted just like a lot of people who get acquitted. That's just it, man. It's nothing big that has nothing to do with black folks. This white guy acquitted from killing white guys. Nothing to do with black folks. And the funny part about it is that we pick and choose what we want to believe. Like, we believe that he can't defend himself, but the other two guys could defend themselves. So it's different, you understand? Like, but I do agree with the brother when he said a miscommunication type thing. It cost somebody their lives. You know, murder. It wasn't murder. It wasn't premeditated. It wasn't murder. It couldn't be proven as murder. We all seen the trial on TV. We saw the trial, and we still look at something totally different. That's why we saw the trial on TV, and we still saw something totally different.
Okay. Leonard?
Sir.
Say it again.
I said, sir.
We're ready to get out of here, man. We're gonna touch 2 or 3 more people. Then we're gonna get on out of here. Anything that you want to say before we leave?
I just want people to understand that things will be they always have been unless you try to change them. So if you're okay with the way things are, then I completely understand your point of doing nothing.
Rico?
But the law
I'm sorry.
governs.
Go, finish your thought, Leonard.
The law is what's making the decision. And one, you have to do what you can. Like John Lewis used to say, you got to get in some good trouble. Because just because this law don't make it right. And that's why we fight is to change the law, because the law is being used deceptively by people to get away with doing whatever they want to do. That's the big decision. We talk about their arms, but we got to also consider the right to protest, the right to against unreasonable search and seizure, the Bill of Rights. This is the government coming after what is basic to us, what has always been basic. And these types of, quote, which I'm calling a little misunderstanding.
Wow, that's good.
But they picked a side. And they chose the side of the one who brought all this to happen.
Good deal. Good deal. Rico?
Yep. So that's what I have to say.
Good deal. Rico?
Hey, I'm Lee. I just left the courthouse, man. And the jury is in deliberation for a case very similar. A white guy is trying to get off for killing my black friend on the street in front of his house. He trying to say he was being a good Samaritan just by going down there and identify a vehicle with his gun and had the gun just in case he needed to protect himself. And my friend ain't here to tell his side of the story. And I just had a disagreement with the prosecutors because the whole time I've been saying that they could have tied up some loose ends. And everybody was like, well, no, sometimes you got to leave something to, for the jury to figure out. So then I finally got the prosecutor in front of everybody and I asked him, wouldn't it have been smart to prove this point? And guess what he said?
What's that?
Well, that was our intention. Hopefully they read in between the lines and figured it out.
Wow.
Hopefully. So, This situation is very similar to Rittenhouse. It's very similar to Maud Arbery. I got my opinions. Every situation ain't the same. Sometimes government does work. Most times it doesn't for us. But what's funny to me is that sometimes, even in situations like this, these guys they just happen to be at a Black Lives Matter protest and died at the hands of somebody that looked like them. And black people at odds with two different opinions probably won't never be able to get back or won't be able to get on the same page because of instances like this. Instances like this. And I'm going to be honest with you. The passion, we got a lot of passion. We got a lot of emotion. But sometimes it ain't meant for us to have this type of passion and emotion. Don't get me wrong. It is a judicial problem. It's a nationwide problem. It's a humanity problem. But at the same time, when we look at it, we got bigger fish to fry.
That's good.
Ahmaud Arbery is in deliberation right now. Go look up Deatrice Barkley. Deatricebarclay. It's in deliberation now.
Wow, good deal, good deal. Monique, you have anything before we get out of here?
No, the only thing I would like to say is that we really need to learn our law, and be in places where they are putting these laws on the books. We need to put people in place that we can trust, that are gonna, have our best interest.
Absolutely, absolutely. Jamie, anything before we get out of here, sir?
No, Raheen, I think I've said it several times, and we all pointing in that same direction. At the end of the day, that thing that I refer to as justice, it doesn't leave room for injustice. They're not compare, use them to contrast, but they are just that different. And because we are used to one thing and seemingly can't think outside of that box, it just shows us what we need to move for and what we need to strive toward. There's a lot of work to be done. Some of us, I've heard on several programs about how some people aren't doing things. There's a saying that we all have lanes, and maybe some of us need to realize your lane isn't the only lane. It's good that you're as good at what you're doing as you are, but most things go back to the grassroots, period. And what your yard look like may be a little different than the next person.
Absolutely.
Yards, referring to the grassroots effort.
Absolutely.
So whatever we're doing, there's a concerted effort, hopefully, that we'll get to once we get beyond those barriers here that keeps showing their ugly heads.
Absolutely. Good deal. Good deal. Well, we're going to get out of here, man. It's been a great broadcast, man. I hope we covered a lot. Got a little heated, but sometimes that's good because family ain't gonna always agree. Everybody got their own opinions, and everybody have their own viewpoint. And you have to look at it through. Everybody have to look at it through the channels of their own eyes. Look at it through the channels of their own eyes, and we may not see things the same. Thus is life. Thus is life. Cassandra, can I get you the prayers out, sis? Cassandra?
No, get somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
See, Cassandra she too mad to pray right now. Lord, my Jesus. Love
Raheen,
you.
I'll do the honors, sir.
Okay.
Let us pray. Most Holy Father, we most humbly come before you, giving you honor, giving you glory. And Father, as we come before you right now, Lord, with everything's been said and done, we pray that you open our eyes, our ears, our minds, and our hearts, that whatever task it is that we are undertaking, that we are true to that task. And Father, we pray that you'll just show us ourselves, we might see. And we pray that you give us a zeal to continue the work that we are doing. You said in your word that all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to his will and his purpose. So Father, what may seem like division, let it be a provoking. And whatever it is that we are doing, Lord, let it not be in vain. We give you honor, we give you glory, and say, bless us in all our undertakings. Thy will be done. Let your love, your peace, and your joy prevail in this world. May we forever place you first in all our endeavors, from the least to the greatest, from the humblest to the most exalted. Thy will be done. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen, amen, and amen.
Amen. Amen. Good deal. It's been a great broadcast. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing the Raheen Ashimi show to be a part of your evening. It is now 5:05. 5:05. You're about to exit the Raheen Ashimi show. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now we shine some of this light in you from the Raheen Ashimi show. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. Get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Love you, and take care of one another, please.